Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys so much for joining me. If you're new here, I would love it if you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I upload a video. This video is in collaboration with Josie from Life at 50 and Beyond. Josie, thank you so much for joining me today on this collaboration. I will be showing you guys how to make this rustic glam chandelier. From the Dollar Tree, you're going to be needing 2 sets of these Christmas ornaments for a total of 4 bulbs, and then also a package of these silver napkin rings. I used 4 of them, and then I also bought these lights at Craft Warehouse. It was on sale. They are from a marquee letter, and they're LED lights. I'm sure you guys can find them somewhere. I think I paid like $2 or $3 for them a long time ago, so I really did just have these laying around. I'm also using 2 of these screw-in eye hooks that I purchased at Walmart. I think the package was about 97 cents. And then this chain that has been reused over and over is from a Dollar Tree hanging basket. And then my foam board, of course. And what I forgot to actually show you physically was my bling wrap from Totally Dazzled and my acrylic paint. I'm sorry about the zooming in and zooming out of my camera. It happens all the time. So this little ruler thing I bought at Michael's, I believe, but you can find them at Dollar Tree too, I think. So I'm just going to be measuring out my frame for the chandelier, and I guess you guys can make it any size you want, but I'm pretty much using the whole width of the foam board, which is about 20 inches wide, and then it's 9 3/4 inches tall.
Can you see the baby? Hey. Good. Say hi. Say hi.
Alright, so after that cuteness, I went ahead and took my X-Acto knife and just started cutting out my frame. This auto zoom is driving me nuts, but you guys have seen me do this many times before, so I'm sure you guys kind of get the gist of what I'm doing here. And then I cut every single piece out, and I'll show you guys what it's going to look like. So this is going to be the long part of the chandelier, and then I'm just going to go ahead and kind of measure out how wide I want it, and I ended up doing 7.5 inches wide. And I'm going to let you guys know that this project was really time consuming. I think it took me maybe like 3 hours to complete it. So if you guys don't have the patience for it, at least you can enjoy me doing it. So I took my black and wedding gold acrylic paints and I just kind of mixed them. But if you see, I didn't mix it completely. I let the gold kind of like do like a marble look on there. That makes sense. And then I just took a paper towel and I just started rubbing it on the foam board, kind of like you're doing a stain. And I did it on the front and the back as well. And then also around the edges, but I forgot to show you that part. So once I did the front, I let it dry for a little bit, turned it around, and then went ahead and started painting the back as well. And then I just kind of let those sit and let them dry completely, and I moved on to my light bulbs. So the way I made these look like a light bulb was to take my napkin rings and then my ornaments, and if you can see on the side of the ornament there's like a line, and so I want to make the opening of the napkin ring align with that side because I want the smooth sides to be facing forward. And so what I'm going to do is thread my LED lights through the napkin ring and then through the ornament. Obviously that's how I'm going to get the light inside. So I'm just marking the center of where I'm going to make my hole, and then I'm going to take the tip of my hot glue gun and then just press down until it melts. And the very first one that I didn't melt it enough. The hole was not as big, but I did do it correctly on the rest of them, so you're not going to see this one. I was trying to kind of poke at it with a screwdriver, but it didn't work, so I had to go back in there with my hot glue gun. And as you can see, there is some melted plastic that kind of just made a weird shape on there. So I just took my wire cutters and started cutting it off. for my ornament, I did take some of this bling wrap and I cut some strips, and I did just enough to go around the very top of that ornament because I don't want that empty look on there. So I just took my hot glue gun and put a little strip right around just to give it a little more bling. And little Milani is here to stay. She will be in my videos forever and ever. And right here I'm just kind of showing you how I'm going to be threading the LED lights through the holes. Right here I'm just testing it because once I glue it all down, I'm not going to be able to have as much freedom to move it around. So I was kind of playing with it to see what method I was going to use to get them all through there. So now I'm just going to go ahead and put some hot glue on the top of that ornament and then press it down onto the napkin ring. And as you can see, I aligned the holes with each other. And then for my foam board or my frame, I also took some of my bling wrap and just took some strips that were long enough to cover that raw edge. And so I doubled it up. It was 2 strips of the bling wrap. One went on that outer edge and then the other piece went over the raw edge. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. So I did this with every single frame on all sides. So the next step, I went ahead and marked the very center of the frame, and what I'm going to do is take a few more strips of the bling wrap and I'm going to do a crisscross design. As you can see here, I'm going to go ahead and put some hot glue on that very corner and then on the other side, or on the bottom part where I marked the center, and I'm just going to go ahead and try to hold it nice and tight so that it's not like loose and doesn't flop around. And as you can see, I did all the sides already, and I'm just going to go ahead and put hot glue on the edge of the frame, and then I'm just going to start building my frame. You guys have seen me do this so many times, so I hope you guys can kind of follow along. And you know what? I didn't even think about it until now, but you guys could probably put some of that bling wrap, like the pretty side, on the inside of the frame, just where everything was glued so it doesn't look so rough. But I didn't think about it. Just thought about it now. So see, that's what's good about these projects, is that you guys can take what I did wrong and do it right. If you guys know what I mean, what I'm talking about is when you look inside of the frame, you can see where they're glued. And again, I didn't think of just covering up with another strip of the bling wrap, like the nice side facing out. I hope I make sense. It's literally midnight right now, you guys. Oh, and I also put hot glue on those inner corners so that they're a little more sturdy. Now I'm just measuring out the top of my frame, so I'm going to go ahead and cut 2 pieces, and I'm going to double them up because I want it to be nice and sturdy, and then I also want them to be thick enough for me to be able to screw in the eye hooks where it's going to be hanging from. So I'm just going to take a generous amount of my hot glue. I guess it's not that generous, but it's a good amount, and then I will go ahead and place the other side on top of it. And then I'm going to start marking where I want my light bulbs to be glued down on. And then taking my needle nose pliers, I'm just going to go ahead and poke that hole through so it's wide enough for my lights to fit through. And if you wonder what I listen to when Milani is not screaming, this is it. So I forgot to show you guys how I placed my foam board in there, but again, you've seen me do it many times before. I just went ahead and slid my foam board all the way inside of the frame, and then after that I took my hot glue and just put some generous amount of glue on the inner corners, again to give it a little bit more of a sturdy feel or sturdiness. And then I went ahead and screwed in my eye hooks to where it's going to be hanging from. I did decide to put some hot glue all around it just so it's a little bit more sturdy. I think I've said that a million times, but I just want this thing to like really be on there good. And so after that, I'm just gonna go ahead and take my lights and start threading them through. And I kind of showed you earlier how I was doing it. It was kind of hard to show you with the angles here, but they're in there. You guys could also cover this edge right here where the two pieces are glued together, but I actually kind of liked how it looked, so I didn't want to make it too blingy, so I just left it as is. And so this is the final result. As you can see, I left some space on the top of the foam board. That way you wouldn't be able to see the extra lights and the battery pack, but you can still see the light shining from the top, if that makes sense. I really enjoyed doing this project, you guys. I think it came out super cool. And I'm actually really inspired to try to make one out of wood, so you guys make sure you stay tuned because I might just do that. But for now, I want to thank you guys so much. I want to thank Josie for collaborating with me once again. Make sure you guys head on over to her channel to watch her video. I will link her video down below as well as her channel. I would love it if you guys gave me a thumbs up. Leave me any comments down below and let me know what your favorite part is. For now, I will let you guys go. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.